Good morning, San Antonio. My name is Carlos Gradiz.
I'm Amirza Gradiz.
Hey, my name is Rick Rodriguez.
And we are the Gradiz Group. In today's episode, we are going to talk about the difference between buying and renting.
I mean, I think we've all been in a situation, where we had to decide whether or not we're going to be able to buy, right? Because ultimately, that's, I think, everybody's goal to be able to buy, but it's very difficult at times. I mean, we all come across, times where we have to put money aside and we have to be able to set exactly what type of home we want, because we all want big, right? That's what we grow up always believing. Bigger is better.
Dream?
The American dream, right? I mean, bigger is better.
And I think a lot of times what happens is that we create this image in our minds that buying a home means this big castle, and it's really not. It's a stepping stone, and
ultimately, and that's the biggest thing. I think you got it right. I mean, because ultimately you want to make sure you set your goals to be achievable, right? In a way, because we all want that big home, but at the same time, it's like, is that going to be your ultimate, your retirement home, right? Your forever home, as we like to call it, or is it going to be something that's going to be small at the very beginning to be able to get you that money and that return to be able to get you to that goal, right?
Absolutely.
What do you think, Emerson?
Well, frankly, it really boils down to timing, right? For some individuals, if they're kind of in their starting point in life, probably start with a smaller home, and then of course we've helped individuals that are at the retirement stage where they know what they want, and they've been saving their whole life for it. But I think to answer your question, between the two, really financially and emotionally, are you prepared for the buying aspect? There's plenty of people that rent. We've rented along.
Right. I think we all have.
Yeah, we've rented at some point. But in San Antonio specifically, because the market is so strong, and the last reported year-over-year growth from the San Antonio Board of Realtors is 6% on properties in San Antonio. And then there's certain areas that actually go up to almost 10-15% growth year over year. And so in San Antonio, if financially and emotionally you can support it, to me, the answer is buy. If you're not there yet, and you need to mature either financially or emotionally a little bit more, then renting is the thing, and we can help with all
Absolutely.
of them.
And to my military buyers, oh my God, my military clients, BAH, put that BAH to work. You're getting this money that essentially could buy you a house, and it's just such a waste to put it on rent. But.
And what we try to tell people too is, especially for the military, is let's try to find a home where the mortgage and the approximate utilities is within your BAH. And at that point, you're really seeing your BAH work for you.
What's the BAH right now for like staff sergeant?
So you're looking at about $1,500 to $1,600 a month. Last time I checked, the technical sergeant was about $1,700. Yeah. Which for $1,700,
that's a good mortgage. You
here's
get a decent home.
Here's another thing too. I mean, we talk about buying versus renting, right? Of course, certain things have to line up. Of course, you talk about credit and everything like that to be able to buy a home, right? You have to be able to meet a certain credit criteria. But at the same time, like you said, I mean, most homes, most areas you go to, you're going to be paying that amount for rent. Especially if you have a family with kids and everything like that. You're looking at a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You're going to be looking at about $1,500 to $1,600 a month. Plus utilities, which is going to end up being about $1,700.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
And I think overall it boils down to your financial mindset, and putting your finances in order and maximizing your income. So if you have $1,500, $1,600, how can you make that work for you? Rent, there's nothing wrong with it, but really that money's not doing anything for you. There's no return on it.
Right.
So versus being a home buyer, oh my goodness, you get tax credits, you get all this fabulous stuff.
It's funny, talking about buying versus renting and stuff. Somebody just recently sent me an article, talked about how the difference emotionally it can make to buy a home versus renting a home. You have ownership, you obviously your family lives there. Then now you start building memories in that particular home. It's not somebody else's home, it's your own home at that point, right? You can hang things where you want to hang them. You don't have to check with the property manager.
Right.
You can
to
paint the
see-
colors
you can
of the
paint
walls
it wherever
purple
you
if you want.
That's what I was thinking, is
Yeah.
you can paint accent walls that, you know, you don't have to redo, you know, a year or two
Yeah.
later,
Right.
so.
And not only that, but I think you hit the nail on the head when you said family. You know, you create memories, and even if it's your first home, you know, this is probably not going to be your first home is probably not going to be your forever home.
Yeah.
You know, but you start building these memories, and
So what are the biggest things that stop people from buying a home then? I mean, you know, since we talk about we're kind of amping up, right?
Yeah.
Owning a home is such a big deal
Yeah.
because emotionally you have your own home, you have your family there. Hey, you're going to your home. This is my home. You know, not somebody else's home. I'm not paying somebody else's mortgage. What is the biggest hang up for people to
That's
make
it.
that move? What do you
That's
think?
a great
Anissa?
question. I mean, I know for a lot of the individuals I've helped, sometimes initially the thought process is I won't be in San Antonio long enough to own a home. And if you've sold a home before, you know that it takes money to sell a home. There are some fees associated with that. And so what you have to think about though is those fees, is the growth in equity of that home going to cover those fees, and then maybe some, right, for your return on investment on the way out. But the
Right.
other thing that I bring up to a lot of individuals is, well, if you don't know how long you're going to be here, you're going to be here maybe less than 3 years. Perhaps you can also think of an exit strategy of not selling, but putting the house under property management. And so, and Carlos here leads property management, but that really allows somebody to go into a home purchase, make their money work for them, and then not be stressed about what if the military moves me out of San Antonio quicker than expected and then I have a loss. That won't be the case.
absolutely. I think you guys are
Yeah.
pros in this.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had the question plenty of times.
Yeah,
The way you're
absolutely.
expressing
People
yourself.
people ask all the time, right? And I mean, of course, you always, you know, again, perfect example. You know, I mean, you always think about, wow, but that's going to be a lot because it's going to require you to put money away for a down payment, of course, unless you're a veteran, which you know, you get your down payment is covered at that point. You don't have to come out of pocket or anything like that.
But you still have closing costs.
But you still have closing costs, exactly.
Which we can negotiate.
Which
We're
we can
masters
negotiate,
at that.
and that's exactly right? So a lot of people, it kind of brings us back to another topic, which we might be able to cover. But why do you need a real estate
Quick
agent,
question.
right?
Have you guys had represented buyers that had gone cash back at closing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you
Yes.
negotiated
Yes.
such a great deal
Absolutely.
that you got a couple $1,000 at closing?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
That's the best.
And it's great. It's a great feeling, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
from the buyer, buyers obviously they're not expecting. Most buyers, when you go and buy a home, what are you expected to do? Put down a down payment, put down of course, closing costs. But in order for you know, for us to be able to negotiate and stuff like that, being able to understand the market and how it's doing, right? And then when you sit at that table, that you know, when you're closing and they get that money back, you see that big old smile on their faces, right?
Yes.
It's
In
great.
fact, I want to say most of my clients I
VA?
think have
Veteran clients?
yeah, most of them are veteran, and a significant part of them have seen cash at closing.
Yeah, that's great. That's
It's very
great.
doable. So I think overall it's I think a lot of times it's fear. You know, they look at buying a home as a huge, impossible goal to reach, but it's a mindset. It's really not that hard.
Right.
If you have the right partnerships, like a good realtor by your side, walking you through the process and explaining the process,
Mhm.
it's a cakewalk. Don't
Absolutely.
hesitate. Go for it. Do it.
Telling you, if you have any questions regarding whether you should buy or rent, you know, talk to somebody, right? An expert. I mean, we're here for you guys. You can call us anytime. Call the Gradiz group. You can look it up. Look at our website, My Home Search San Antonio. Grab a website to look at homes here in the San Antonio area as well. And I'll tell you, I mean, we'll be able to walk you step by step on exactly what you need to do, or we can put you in contact with somebody that's going to help you. That's the biggest thing,
Absolutely.
right? Always, if we don't know the answer, we'll be able to get you the answer from somebody that knows.
But if it's a rental that you're looking for, we've got that too. So renting, property management,
Absolutely.
selling, one-stop shop, I would
Mhm.
call us for any of your real estate needs.
If you need help, we're here. There's nothing that we're not going to turn you away because you're looking for a rental. You're looking for a rental, we'll find you that as well.
Absolutely.
Very good.
All right.
You guys have an
You
awesome
guys have
day.
good ones. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
See you on the
Bye.
next
All right.
episode.
Bye.